where the Crawdads sing. The story begins in the early 1950s, deep in the wild, misty coastal marshes of North Carolina. We are introduced to Catherine Danielle Clark, nicknamed Kaya. Her home is an isolated shack surrounded by muddy waters, oak trees, and the calling of seagulls. One by one, Kaya's world falls apart. Driven away by her abusive, alcoholic father, her mother walks down the dirt track and never returns. Soon after, her older siblings flee the violence too. By the time she is 10 years old, her father vanishes completely, leaving little Kaya entirely alone to survive in a wilderness that the nearby town of Barkley Cove views with disgust and prejudice. To the wealthy, judgmental townspeople, Kaya is a myth. The feral, dirty Marsh Girl who doesn't attend school and belongs to the mud. But Kaya adapts beautifully. She develops a deep spiritual connection to the marsh, learning to read the language of the tides, collect oysters to trade for fuel, and protect the wildlife. Her true companions are the birds she feeds on the beach. Her lonely existence changes when Tate Walker, a gentle local boy who shares her love for nature, befriends her. Tate begins leaving beautiful feathers as secret gifts on the stumps of trees. Slowly, he wins her trust, teaches her to read and write, and opens her eyes to the world of science and literature. The innocent romance between Kaya and Tate blooms into a deep, consuming first love. Tate becomes her anchor to humanity, encouraging her to document the marsh's flora and fauna through stunning, detailed watercolor paintings and text. However, Tate's ambition to become a biologist eventually forces him to leave for college. He promises to return for her on the 4th of July, but as the day passes and the sun sets over the marsh, Tate never shows up. Terrified of her isolation, he chooses the safety of society over the Marsh Girl. Broken-hearted and abandoned once again, Kaya retreats deeper into her shell, vowing never to trust another human being. Years pass, and Kaya transforms into a striking, fiercely independent young woman. Her beauty catches the eye of Chase Andrews, Barkley Cove's star quarterback and the ultimate town playboy. Chase is the polar opposite of Tate, charismatic, arrogant, and smooth-talking. Drawn by loneliness and a desperate hunger to be touched and loved, Kaya allows Chase into her secret world. They begin a hidden affair in a secluded cove. Chase promises her marriage and a real home, but he treats her like a dirty secret, refusing to introduce her to his wealthy parents or acknowledge her in public. The illusion of happiness shatters violently when Kaya takes a rare trip into the town. On the front page of the local newspaper, she sees an announcement. Chase Andrews has married a wealthy society girl from the town. Kaya realizes she was never his future. She was just an exotic, disposable playground. When Chase later returns to the marsh, refusing to let her go and attempting to brutally assault her in her own home, Kaya fights back with the feral ferocity of a wild animal. She escapes into the safety of the swamps, but Chase's pride is severely wounded. The clash between the pure laws of nature and the corrupt morality of the town has officially set a deadly trap. The story takes a dark, criminal turn in October 1969. Two young boys riding their bikes near the old, abandoned fire tower in the deepest part of the swamp make a horrifying discovery. The lifeless body of Chase Andrews lying in the mud directly beneath the tower's open ledge. The town of Barkley Cove is instantly thrown into a frenzy of grief and anger. Chase was their golden boy, a local hero. The local sheriff quickly examines the scene and finds several deeply suspicious anomalies. There are no footprints around the body, no tire tracks, and absolutely no fingerprints left on the rusted railings of the tower. It looks like a perfect, clean execution. The sheriff's investigation immediately zeroes in on Kaya. The town's deep-seated prejudice against the Marsh Girl acts as a catalyst. They don't need hard evidence to believe she is a cold-blooded killer. A local witness steps forward, claiming to have seen Kaya near the bus station on the night of the murder, and the police discover that a unique shell necklace Chase wore every single day, a gift Kaya had given him, is missing from his corpse. Despite the fact that Kaya has a seemingly ironclad alibi, proving she was in another city meeting with her book publisher during the exact window of the crime, the police launch a full-scale manhunt. Kaya's worst nightmare comes true when armed deputies surround her quiet shack on the water. Terrified of cages and human cruelty, she tries to flee into the thick brush, but she is eventually cornered and arrested. She is thrown into a cold, concrete jail cell in the town, facing the possibility of the death penalty. The isolation she fought so hard to survive now threatens to completely crush her spirit. While the townspeople scream for her execution outside the windows, only Tom Milton, a retired and compassionate local attorney, steps forward to volunteer as her defense counsel, preparing for a trial that feels more like a modern witch hunt. The courtroom of Barkley Cove is packed to the brim as the trial of the century reaches its climax. The prosecution paints Kaya as a calculated feral temptress who lured Chase Andrews to his death out of spite. However, Kaya's defense attorney, Tom Milton, delivers a brilliant, impassioned counter-argument. He systematically disassembles the state's timeline, proving it would have been physically impossible for Kaya to take a late-night bus back to the marsh, commit a flawless murder without leaving a single trace, and return to her hotel room in Greenville by morning. He challenges the jury to look past their decades of prejudice and see a vulnerable young woman who simply wanted to be left in peace. The jury deliberates for hours, a suffocating silence hanging over the town. When they return, the verdict is read: not guilty. Kaya is officially cleared of all charges. The courtroom erupts, but Kaya simply walks out, returning straight to the arms of the only home that never judged her, the marsh. Shortly after, Tate approaches her, begging for a final chance to correct his past mistakes. Recognizing his genuine remorse and his shared love for the wild, Kaya forgives him. They spend the next several decades living together in perfect harmony inside the coastal shack, publishing best-selling books on nature, completely untouched by the town's lingering whispers. Kaya passes away peacefully in her sleep at the age of 64, drawing her last breath on her beloved boat in the marshlands. Tate is left destroyed by grief. As he goes through her belongings in the old shack, organizing her brilliant archives, he discovers a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards. Inside, he finds a secret journal containing poetry written by Kaya under a pen name, along with the missing shell necklace that Chase Andrews wore on the night he died. The ultimate breathtaking twist is finally revealed. Kaya did kill Chase Andrews. applying the brutal, unapologetic laws of the marsh, where a female animal must eliminate a dangerous predator to ensure her own survival. Kaya had worn a disguise, manipulated the bus schedules, and pushed Chase from the tower. She cleaned the crime scene completely to protect her hard-won freedom. Tate walks out to the beach and buries the necklace in the mud, letting the tides wash away the evidence forever. The Marsh Girl takes her deepest secret to the grave, leaving her legacy as a wild, untamable force of nature.